Hey guys, good evening everyone. Yesterday we were discussing about Spring framework. Yesterday we have seen what is the Spring framework and what are the advantages of that. And Spring framework provides several features like dependency injection and containers. Yesterday we have also seen, okay, how do we create objects using how your containers will create objects, and we have seen both examples with application context container and bean factory container. Similarly guys, not only your okay containers will create objects, I've told you containers also will perform dependency injection. Okay, we have seen the functions of containers. Containers will read the XML file or understand the XML file. Okay, containers will create the objects of POSO classes, and it will also manage the life cycle of POSO classes, and it will also perform a dependency injection. Today we will see about what is meant by dependency injection and how many types of dependency injection is there. Guys, yesterday we have also seen bean scopes. Okay, the default bean scope in your Spring framework is a singleton. When it is a singleton for every user request, okay, even for multiple user requests are there, only one object will be created. If you want to create one object for every user request, then we have to declare a bean scope as a prototype. Okay, guys, dependency injection means whenever the class has some dependencies, whenever your class is depending upon some other variables, either it may be list variable, set variable, okay, or if your class maybe depends on other reference of other class. So if you want to inject those dependencies, we call it as a dependency injection. Dependency injection is a process of injecting required dependencies what an object requires at runtime dynamically with the help of a container. Dependency injection is performed by Spring containers, guys. Then there are two types of dependency injection: setter dependency injection, constructor dependency injection. In the setter dependency injection, if you want to inject the required dependencies into the POSO class, if you make use of a setter methods, if you make use of a setter methods, setter and getter methods, we call it as a setter dependency injection. In the same way, if you make use of a constructor, parameterized constructors, then we will call it as a constructor dependency injection. Okay, guys, using dependency injection, either it may be constructor dependency injection, I said setter dependency injection. You can inject three types of dependencies into the POSO class. Okay, in the sense container using dependency injection, container can inject the three types of dependencies into the class: primitive type dependencies, collection type dependencies, reference type dependencies. Guys, primitive type dependencies, primitive data types, int, float, string, boolean, char are there now. We have discussed about primitive type dependencies in the starting of your core Java. So if you want to inject those dependencies, we call it as a primitive type dependencies. You can inject primitive type dependencies. You can also inject collection type dependencies, means list, set, and map. Okay, you can inject those dependencies, and you can also inject reference type dependencies. Guys, reference type dependencies is the mostly used dependency in the Spring framework. Okay, reference type in the sense I have told you, whether your class, for example, if you have a class A and class B, when you have a if your class A is depending upon class B, then at the runtime, your container will create a object of P, and then it will inject into the A. Okay, that is called reference type dependencies. Means your class depending upon the reference variable of another class. If it is like that, okay, you have to create another object of another class. You have to inject into the dependent class. We call it as a reference type dependencies. So you can see double, char, boolean, string in case of primitive. Okay, list, set, and map in case of properties. Reference type dependencies are mostly used dependencies in the Spring, and this is where your class depends on primitive dependency of another class. We will see that. Guys, now setter dependency injection. How do we perform setter dependency injection? Guys, whatever the steps I have told you, the same steps you have to repeat once again. But you have to, yesterday I've shown you only for the object creation. Now we have to do even dependency injection also. Same, creating a Maven project, you have to create one Java bean, Spring configuration file. Okay, you have to prepare Spring configuration file. You have to troubleshoot the update, create and run the driver class. I have done all these 5 steps yesterday, right? Okay, for the sake of you people, I will do once again also, guys. This is the last time I am doing it because every time I can't create a project. Okay, I cannot write Spring configuration file, a Pozo class, a driver class. It takes more time. Okay, one time. Okay, one more time I will show you how to create a okay, project, and then okay, we'll do dependency injection, guys. As I said yesterday, first you should go to the file, new, okay, other, file, new, other. Here you have to go for the Maven project. There will be a Maven project here. Double click on that. Guys, don't do anything here. Leave your default as it is. Click on next. Okay, and then okay, you select Maven archetype quick start 1.1 and then click on next. And you have to give your okay group ID and artifact ID. Yesterday I've told you, right? Okay, group ID or artifact ID is like your okay project name and a package name. Com.spring.example is group ID. Same, I will take spring dot okay spring dot dependency. Okay, I will take spring dot dependency is my artifact ID. Click on finish. Guys, the moment you create, you can see here, it is creating a Maven project. It takes time, sometimes. See here, 100%. Guys, now you can see here, there is a, okay, spring dot dependency, okay, is a project you have created. As I have told you, there is a one source file, there is a one test file, there is a Maven dependency, there is a pom.xml file. Pom.xml file contains one okay default dependency for performing JUnit testing. And here is the code you have to keep. Okay, here is the code you have to keep. Guys, now since I am not doing any JUnit testing, you can delete this complete folder. Yesterday I've told you, you can delete that complete folder. And even okay, this app.java also you can delete under the source folder. Okay, guys, now what is the first step I have to do? Let's come back to the PPT. Creating a Maven project we have created. Okay, next one is creating a Java bean. Guys, I have given a detailed steps here. How do we create a Maven project? See here, go to the IDE, file, new, others, Maven project. And what your Maven will do, yesterday I've told you Maven is a okay build tool which transitively pulls all the okay dependencies you want for creation of object and dependency injection. You can see I have deleted JUnit dependencies. I have given you everything here, whatever okay I am doing in the IDE. Okay, you can next second step, guys. See, creating a Java bean is a second step. Let's go to the okay IDE, create your Java bean. What I will do is click on this package. Okay, new class. Guys, this time I don't uh, okay, I don't want only object creation using containers. I want dependency injection as well. I will take class name as an employee. Okay, I will take class name as an employee. Guys, Java bean. When you're creating a Java bean, you have to take okay every variable as a private because you have to provide a data security there. Guys, private int id is a one variable I am taking, one dependency I am taking. And again, private string name, private string name I am taking. But yes, should be capital because, okay, string is a class name. You should, okay, take with the capital letters. Guys, I am taking employee ID, employee name. And okay, guys, what I will do is I will generate setters and getters. How do we generate setters and getters for this? Just select these two properties, go to the source, okay, generate setters and getters, generate setters and getters. For how many fields you want, okay, you select all the fields here. Okay, for the two fields, I need setters and getters, you can generate it. Okay, see, the moment you generate setters and getters, one property will come down. You just rearrange this. Okay, guys, after this, I will create my own method here. Public void get information. Public void get information. I will create my own method. I will tell you for what. And here inside this, okay, public void get information. And inside this, I will take one statement here. System dot out dot okay println the employee ID is the employee ID is The employee ID is plus ID. Okay, simply I'll take plus ID. We will see what we will get. Similarly, guys, okay, system dot out dot okay println, you will get I'll take plus name, plus name. Guys, this is my POSO class. What is my POSO class is? See, this is my POSO class. What my container should do is my container should create a object of employee class. See, yesterday we have seen how your container will create a object. After creating a object of employee class, it should inject the two properties. It should inject, okay, the value for ID property. It should inject the value for name property. After that, okay, see, for injecting, we have setters and getters methods. We are providing this whole file. We are providing this whole file for your container. So container will read this, it will understand this, and with the help of a Spring configuration file, okay, it will inject the values. Guys, after injecting, I have to call this method. Okay, what kind of method is this? Get information method. If you get information method is a non-static method present in the employee class, right? So using employee reference object, okay, I should call this get information method. If I call this get information method, then whatever the values we have injected, we are going to print it. Okay, after dependency injection, we are going to check, okay, whether dependency injection is happened. And then if it is happened, then when I'm printing, okay, we will get the what is the ID we have injected and what is the name we have injected. Guys, the first step is over. What is the first step? Creating a Maven project is over. Second step is also over. Creating a Java bean. Okay, the next one is, guys, creating a Spring configuration file. The next one you have to do is creating a Spring configuration file. Guys, before that, okay, before that Spring configuration file, you go to the IDE, you go to the pom.xml file. You know, pom.xml file contains some default dependencies. Okay, I don't want this. Okay, there is a one dependency here was JUnit testing, but I want the dependencies for dependency injection as well as object creation. What you do is select from properties till dependencies, delete it. Select from properties till dependencies and delete it. And okay, we will have
Can you please repeat that step again?
1 minute, 1 minute. Guys, okay, I have default dependencies. Yesterday, I have sent you all this to your okay respective tablets. You can collect all the information, including PPT, these default dependencies, Spring dependencies, and everything. Okay. Yeah. Somebody asked me to repeat something. Yeah.
I'm asking, can you repeat that previous step, the pound of Excel? How did you do that?
Pom.xml. Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, when you open this pom.xml file, it will be like this internally. Okay. It will be like this initially. There will be one dependency present inside this. This dependency is for JUnit testing. We are not doing any JUnit testing here. I am doing object creation using containers and dependency injection. So for that, I want dependencies. I don't want this JUnit dependency at all. So select this, okay, from properties till dependencies. Select this properties till dependencies. You delete it in the same place. Okay, you paste the dependencies whatever you want. Okay, you paste the dependencies whatever you want to perform dependency injection and object creation. Okay, those dependencies are Spring Core and Spring Context. Spring Core and Spring Context. And to pull the okay dependencies, you have a Maven plugin dependency, Maven compiler okay dependency. So these three dependencies will be very same in everything, unless until you do some operations using database, external database, you have to add new dependencies. I will show you. For now, these dependencies are enough. Now, guys, after adding new dependencies in the pom.xml file, you should save it. And you should remember one point, whenever you perform any updation in the pom.xml file, you have to update your XML file. If you don't update your XML file, you will get an error. Okay, what you have to do for updation? Just just right click on this pom.xml file, Maven. Okay, okay, go to the Maven update project. There is an option called update project. Okay, see here, what is the project name? Spring.dependency is my project name. Okay, update it. Fine. Guys, pom.xml file is also ready. The next one you have to prepare is, okay, according to your steps, the next one what you have to prepare is creating a Spring XML file means you have to create an XML file, because for your container, you have to provide two inputs. One is a Java bean. The next one is a configuration file. Your Java bean is ready now. You have to okay, prepare XML file. Guys, yesterday I've told you how to prepare XML file. Okay, how do we prepare XML file? Just click on this project name. Okay, go to the new. Okay, go to the other. There is an XML file here. There is an XML file. Okay, so here, just right click on this XML file. You give your, okay, you save your XML file with your own name. For example, I will save with the config.xml. Okay, click on finish. Guys, in the XML file, okay, there will be nothing here except version and encoding. You have to copy and paste several, okay, schemas here to perform dependency injection. Those schemas will be very same in each and every, okay, project. What I will do is, there are schemas available here also. Okay, there are schemas available. Default, okay, XML configurations I kept here. You just copy it, go to the IDE, okay, go to the IDE and then paste it. Guys, now you have to write your own logic now. Okay, these are default schemas. You have to place it in every XML file. Now, guys, open your bean tag. Open your bean tag. First I should tell my container to create an object for employee class, right? So like yesterday, you have to provide one IDE. Okay, you have to provide one ID. Means, for example, I will give EMP, and you have to provide a class name. You have to provide a class name. The class name must be the fully qualified class name. Where do you find your fully qualified class name? Go to the employee class. Okay, see here, copy this, copy till this one. Okay, come back to the config.xml, paste it here. Dot, what is your, okay, name of the class? Employee, and then close your bean tag. Okay, just close your bean tag. Guys, now you come here, close your bean tag. Bean tag must be after this. See, bean tag will be automatically closed there. Then, guys, see, if I leave like this, it's enough for, okay, object creation. Yesterday I have done only till here. For only I need how your, yesterday we have seen how your, okay, bean factory and application context container will create object. But now I want to perform dependency injection also. Guys, come back to the employee class. See, come back to the employees class. Employee class depends on how many properties? Two properties. ID field and name field. Okay, we call it as a properties. We call it as a properties. See here, if you want to do, okay, set in the setter dependency injection, you have to take a tag called property. Okay, you have to take a tag called property. Okay, and then what is a property name? Okay, the name of the property is, the name of the property is ID. Okay, the name of the first property is ID. The name of the next property, see here, name of the first property is ID. What is the value you want to provide for ID field? I will provide the value, okay, called 555. I will provide a value called 555. And then, okay, I will close my property tag. See here, the property tag is closed here. Okay. And you have to open another property. You have to open another property here. Okay, you have to open another property here, because two properties I have. Name. What is the name of the second property? The name of the second property is name itself. Okay. And then there is a value. I will provide the employee. I will provide the employee name as John. I will provide the employee name as John. Okay. And property tag is closed here. 1 minute, we'll close it here itself. Without taking an extra tag, you can also close your property tag here only. You don't want separate, okay, properties here. We will delete it. Okay, guys, now see, property tag opened. First property is ID. I am provided value. The second property is, okay, the second property name is name itself and value is John. I've closed here itself. Guys, you can close here itself or you can close a separate, okay, you can close with a separate property tag. So instead of taking two extra tags, I will close it here itself. And then, okay, see, bean tag is, you see guys, bean tag is opened, bean tag is closed, but beans tag is, okay, still opened but not closed here. For every opened tag, guys, for every open tag, there should be a closed tag, or else we will get an error in the XML file. Guys, after doing this, see, this is called setter dependency injection. For setter dependency injection, what you have to do? Property name is equals to ID, value is equals to 555. Property name is equals to name, value is equals to John. Okay, guys, next, your Spring configuration file is over. The next one is, the last step you have to do is, see here, let's come back to the PPT. The last step you have to do is troubleshooting the update. Troubleshooting the update means, okay, you have to see, you have to create the object of container, class path XML application context, and you have to load that, okay, into, you have to load your XML file into the container. After that, okay, after that, the last step is, see here, Java bin is over. Okay, we have created this Spring and configuration file. The last step, however, creating the driver class. Creating the driver class. Guys, let's come to this same package. Go to the new class. Okay, take the driver class name as a test. Okay, you take with main method, and then you have to prepare your own container now. Guys, what is the container I'll use? I will use my container called application context. Application context. Okay, application context AP is equals to new class path XML application context. Okay, here you have to provide your XML. What is the XML name? The name of the XML file is config.xml. Config.xml. Okay, since this is application context is a name of the container and name of the, okay, this is your name of the class, right? Class path XML application context present in different package. You have to import it. Control Shift. Okay, place your cursor there. Control Shift O. Okay, see, you have imported. Now, guys, you have to know if you first you should create an object of employee class. Okay, first you should create object of employee class. AP dot. Okay, how to create? You have to use getBean method. AP dot getBean. And what is the reference variable you have given in XML file? The reference variable given in XML file is EMP. Okay, EMP. And then, okay, you have to typecast it and take it because getBean method will return the object of employee class. Okay, so you have to typecast in, typecast it and take it. Now I will typecast it and, okay, so I will store it in another variable. Employee, for example, I will store it in a E1. Now, guys, now I'm telling my container to create an object of employee class. Now it is created like employee E1 is equals to new employee using E1 method. Using E1 method, I can call, see, using E1 method, I can call get information method. If I call get information method, it will print what is the ID name, which, okay, what is the ID name we have injected and name, okay, and name of the employee, okay, we have injected using container. Okay, come to the, okay, test.java, even dot, okay, just even dot, you get information method, even dot get information method, you save it. Okay, still there is an error. Even dot get information method, I should have yeah, there is, I should save employee class, I did not save it, that's why you're getting an error. Yeah, guys, now everything is saved. Let's, okay, right click on this test.java, run as Java application. Run as Java application. Guys, what is the output I'm getting? The employee ID is 555. The employee ID is John. Means what I have done? I've told my container to create an object and I've told my container to even, okay, perform dependency injection. Means for the container, I have provided input called XML file. By reading this XML file, Okay. Container understood the configuration. Container created the object of employee class. Container successfully injected these two properties. Okay, these two properties into the poso class. That is called means injecting the required dependencies. Injecting these two required dependencies into the poso class during runtime by making use of a container is called dependency injection. Okay, guys, this is a one way of dependency injection. See here, this XML file, guys, this XML file, you can prepare in three ways. You can prepare in three ways. The first way which I have prepared is, okay, now the first way which I have prepared is called value as an attribute. See, guys, property name is equals to IDE, value is equals to 556. Okay, property name is equals to name, value I have taken Praveen here. If you take value here, okay, but beside name, in the property tag itself, if you take a value, we call it as a value as an attribute. Guys, you can also take like this. Okay. If you take like this is called value as an element. Value as an element means for every property, you have to open the property tag and you have to open the you have to close the property tag for every separate property. See, name is the first property, right? I will open the property tag. Okay. I will mention the property name called ID. Separate value tag you have to open. Open the value tag, 20, close the value tag. Again, open another property tag. Property name is name. Okay. Open the value tag, provide the value. Okay. And then close the value tag. If I take like this, we call it as a value as a separate element. See, every value I am taking it as a separate element. Even if you take like this, okay, we will get the same output. Okay. Even if you, take like this, we will get the same output. See, let's go back to, okay, and let's delete this value as an attribute. What I will do is, I will just remove this one. Guys, save this. After saving, see here, I've prepared my XML file in another way. Okay. Why? By taking value as a separate element. Come back to the test class. Come back to the test class. Run as Java application. See, I'm getting same output. Okay, guys, the easiest way is the third one. The easiest way, and we extensively use this method. We don't use these first two methods. The easiest way is this one. Okay, it will reduce your XML file. There is no need to create property value. Okay, there is no need to use property tag and value tags at all. You have to use something called P schema. Okay, you have used P schema. Guys, that's why I have taken one, okay, schema here. You can see XML-NS-P. Okay, I've taken one web address for performing P schema. Okay, see here, guys. Just you have to take P hyphen ID and you have to provide a value here. Okay, the continuation to your, okay, see here, I'll go to the XML file. I'll go to the XML file. I will delete this property values and everything. I don't want. I here, guys, P schema. Guys, for when you're doing setter and when you're doing a dependency injection using setters and getters methods, you can use P schema. When you're using constructor dependency injection, you can use C schema. Okay, C schema. For constructor, it is C. Guys, P, what you have to take is P hyphen. Okay, guys, P hyphen. What is the first field in the employee? See here. What is the first field in the employee? ID. The first field in the employee is ID. You should take ID is equals to provide the value, okay, in the double inverted comma. I will provide the value called 566. Okay. Similarly, guys, another field is there. P hyphen, what is the second property? Name is equals to, in double inverted comma, you can take, okay, John. You can take John. Enough. If you take this much, okay, there is no need to take a property tag. There is no need to take a value tag. I have simply shown you in how many ways you can prepare your XML file. Guys, just save this XML file. Go to the test class. Here, run as Java application. Employee ID is 556, 566. Okay, the employee name is John. You should have take employee name is here. Okay, employee name is John. Save it, go to the test class, run as Java application. Guys, this is how you perform dependency injection using 3 ways. Okay, using 3 ways. See, I have shown you all the 3 ways. Value as an attribute, value as an element, value as a, okay, P schema. Injecting value as a P schema. P schema can be used only for the setter dependency injection. That's why in the bracket I have written setter injection. If you use a constructor injection, then you have to use a C schema. We will see that in the, okay, coming slides. Guys, create the driver class and run it. See here, creating the driver class, I am running it. Fine. Guys, this is called dependency injection. I've shown you the dependency injection and how do we prepare Spring configuration file using 3 ways. Guys, then using dependency injection, you can inject, okay, see, you can inject 3 types. Primitive dependencies we have seen, right? Okay, these are the primitive dependencies. What are the primitive dependencies? Int, string. Okay, see, till now I've in my last example I've injected 2 fields, int and string. Similarly, boolean, char. Okay, you can inject all the primitive dependencies like this using setter dependency injection. Guys, like primitive dependencies, you can also inject list types. You can inject list types, set types, map types. Guys, if you want to inject list types, if you want to inject a list type in the XML file, you have to use an attribute called list attribute. Very simple, guys. Okay, you have to use a list attribute. If you want to inject set types, you have to, okay, use set attribute in the XML file. If you want to use a map type, okay, guys, if you want to inject a map types, you have to use a map, and inside map there is a value, right? There is a key and value. You know, map is, okay, different than your list and set. List, in the list and set there will be only data present inside, okay, but in the map there will be entries present. In between each and every entry, there is a key and value. There is a key and value. That's why including this, okay, map tag, you have to use an entry tag. Inside that entry tag, you have to use a key tag and value tag. We will see, okay, one example for everything. Guys, injecting list types using dependency injection. Injecting list types using dependency injection. Guys, I have prepared one class. Same, I have taken 2 dependencies. First one is a primitive. Primitive, okay, private string name. Say I have taken package name is this. Okay, class name is hospital. Okay, I am taking private string name. First one is a primitive, the name of the hospital. The next one, guys, private, the variable is departments. Okay, see here, the variable is departments. Property, okay, the property is departments. The type is a list. The type is list and which will take only strings. Guys, if you prepare one list, for example, list L1 is equals to new list, and in bit there, if you give, okay, like this string, it means it's a generics. Generics will provide as a type safety. Means, for example, I have prepared one list object. I want to store only strings in that. I want to store only integers in that. I want to store only Boolean data in that. Okay, you can provide a type safety like this. Okay, you between tags, between 2 tags. Okay, say I can provide a string. Means if I provide string, list, whatever the list you are preparing, it will accept only strings. Means I am storing the department names like ECG departments. Okay, orthopedic department, reception department. I am storing all the departments in one list. Guys, see here, my class is not only depending upon primitive here, my class is depending upon one of the property, and the type of that property is a list. The type of that property is a list. See, same. Select these two, go to the source, generate setters and getters. I have shown you now how to generate setters and getters. Automatically it will be generated. Okay. After that, guys, you have to prepare Spring XML file. In the XML file, I have told you when you want to inject a list types, you have to use a list tag. Guys, everything is same. Copy the default schemas, bean ID. Now you should tell your container to create an object of hospital class first. You should tell your container before doing dependency injection. What I was done, I was telling my container to prepare an object of the class. What is the class name here? Hospital. So here I am telling my container to create an object of class. Bean ID is equal to, I am taking object reference is HSP class fully qualified class name. Okay, I've copied fully qualified class name, and how many properties? And how many properties your hospital depends? One primitive property, one list type. See, primitive property, you know how to inject. Property name. Name is equals to the name of the property itself, name there, value. I am providing the value of, means global hospital. I am providing global hospital. The next property in your hospital is list. Okay, the next property is a list type. So you have to use a list tag. Inside this list tags, guys, what is this? Okay, second property, it is storing the list of departments. It is storing the list of departments of type string. Of type string. See here, open the value tag, provide how many values you want. Okay, inside the list, I'm storing the values now. That's why I'm using a list tag. Open the list tag. Between two value tags, open the value tag. Okay, provide the input, close the value tag. Open the value tag. First department is front office. Second department is inpatient. The third one is outpatient. Okay, see, for every value tag is closed, list tag is closed. You have opened your property tag here, right? See here, opened your property tag, close your property tag, opened your bean tag, close your bean tag, opened your beans tag, close your bean tag, and rest everything is same. Prepare your driver class. In the driver class, see here, in the driver class path XML application context is equals to new class path application context. I have stored this XML file. I have stored this XML file. Okay, as I have stored that XML file as I have stored that XML file as okay listconfig.xml. I've stored that XML file as listconfig.xml. Same CTX is the object reference I have taken here. Here say class path XML application context CTX I have taken. Okay, here CTX I have taken. CTX dot get bean HSP, typecast it, store it in a HS. Now guys, I am getting the say system dot out dot println. The hospital name is HS dot get name. Come back to your come back to your see here get name. There is a get name and set name methods. See here there is a get name. Okay, and there is a see here there is a get name method. There is a get department methods. Whenever you provide a values in the Spring configuration file, okay, a container will create an object of this by reading that Spring configuration file, and container will inject those two properties using setter dependency. See here, it will set the name, okay, and it will set the strings also, set the department names also in the list. Similarly, if you want to fetch that, you can directly call get name methods and get department methods. If you don't want to do like that, in the last time I've created my own method, right? Public void get information. Inside that system.out.println, okay, plus name, plus departments. You can also create your own methods. Instead of creating own methods, you can call your get name methods and get department methods. Guys, get name and get departments, see here, get name and get departments are two non-static methods. If you want to call these two non-static methods, I need an object reference of hospital, right? I need an object reference of hospital. That's why here, okay, you can see here in the object reference, see here, this is your object reference. This is your object reference hs1 dot get name. Okay, hs1 dot get name 1. The various departments are hs1 dot get departments. Okay, get departments. Guys, let's come back to your IDE. Let's come back to your IDE. I have same programs. Here, come back to Spring list. See guys, I have a, there is a hospital. See here, there is a Java bean here. Okay, there is a Java bean here, which I have prepared just now. And there is a configuration file, which I have told you for the list. And there is a test class. There is a test class also. There is a test class. The hospital name is HS plus HS.getName. The various departments are HS.getDepartments. GetName is a method. What is it? What is whose return type is string? You can see there in the program. GetDepartments whose return type is a list. Whose return type is a list. See here, get departments whose return type is a list of strings. It will give you a list of strings, means the various departments will get. Come back to the test 2. Okay, run as Java application. See guys, the hospital name is Global Hospital. The various departments are front office, inpatient, outpatient. I'm getting right. Okay, this is called your list. Okay, guys, the next one is a set. Okay, the next one is a set. Same everything. You are going to use a set attribute. You are going to make use of a set attribute there. Okay, instead of, okay, see, this is called driver class for your list, and then injecting set types. Guys, same I have used, same class I have used. I have taken, say, list of departments, I have taken set. What is the difference between list and set? List will allow duplicate elements. List will allow duplicate elements, but set will not allow duplicate elements. You can also check. Okay, you go to the IDE. You go to the IDE. Let's inject duplicate elements in your. Okay, let's inject the duplicate elements in the configuration file of a list. See, this is your list, right? You can see in the list type, I am using front office, inpatient, and outpatient. See, I have injected duplicate values. It is allowing. I am getting output called front office, inpatient, and outpatient. But if in the same case, if you take it as a set, even if you inject a duplicate elements, we will get only one here. Okay. In the case, in this case, what is happening is Spring framework internally uses Spring framework. Okay, internally uses a hash set. Okay, Spring framework internally uses a, okay, I'm sorry, linked hash set. Linked hash set. See, guys, you go to the, okay, test 2, hospital 1. This is for your set. Guys, everything is prepared. Instead of, okay, list, I have taken set here. Same one, primitive dependency is there. The name of the primitive dependency is name 1. I've taken it as a name 1. I've taken it as a departments 1. And then, okay, whose return type is a set, okay, of strings. Generate setters and getters method. Go to the configuration file, guys. In the configuration file, I have, instead of, okay, list attribute, I have taken set attribute, and rest everything is same. Rest everything is same. Go to the test 3. Okay, go to the test 3. You can, okay, execute and see, run as Java application. Guys, see here, I am getting only front office orthopedic department MRI scanning. Okay, but in the configuration file of a set, I have injected two duplicate values. Okay, two duplicate values. But here, okay, only one value has come. It will not take duplicate element, because the major difference between list and set is list will not, okay, list will allow duplicate elements, set will not allow duplicate elements. Okay, guys, this is about your list and set. The next one we have is map. Map is, okay, different, because in the list you use a list attribute and value attribute. In the set you use a set attribute and value attribute. But map, inside map, entries will be there. Inside entries, okay, inside entries there will be a key and values will be there. Okay, that's why you have to use a, okay, entry tag. You have to use an entry tag. Inside that, you have to use a key and value tag. Guys, same steps. Same steps. First, you have to prepare one, okay, bean class, means Pozo class. Guys, I have prepared one Pozo class whose name is customer. Whose name is customer. You can see in the PPT also. Okay, whose name is a customer. Come back to your map. Okay, come to your map. Guys, you can see here, have injected map. I've prepared one bean class whose name is a customer. I've taken one primitive dependency. What is the name of the primitive dependency? ID. I've taken another, okay, dependency which is of map type. Which is of map type. See, in the map, we'll have a key and values, right? Okay, key and values. So for the key, I have taken integer, and value I have taken string. Means it will allow, in the key place, it will allow only integers. In the value place, it will allow only strings. Okay, take this. In the sense, select these two fields, generate setters and getters. Your Pozo class is ready. Guys, now Spring configuration file. So first step is, okay, default schemas will be there, however, and then you should tell your container to create object, right? First step. So bean ID, I will take, okay, the map name is customer, right? So I will take object reference is CSM, fully qualified class name. Then, guys, on how many properties it depends. The first property is IDE. The second property is products of what type? Of map type. See here, take bean ID, okay, See, using P schema, I have injected first primitive one. Using P schema, I have injected first primitive ID. P hyphen ID is equals to 20. It's over. The next property. The next property, you have to open the tag. Okay. The next property is, what is the name of the next property? Products of what type? Map type. You have to open the map. You have to open the map type, map tag. Inside that map, what will be there? Entry will be there, guys. Inside entry, what will be there? Key and value will be there, right? So open the entry tag, provide the key and value using key attribute and value attribute. So using key attribute, I will provide 10. Value attribute Benz. Okay, product name is okay, Benz I will provide. Same. Provide another two entries. Open the entry tag. Okay, take a key attribute, provide a value. Okay, close the entry tag. Similarly, third one, close the map. Okay, tag, close the map tag, and then close the property tag, bean tag, and beans tag. Finally, okay, see here the same application got okay. Create your container, load the XML file. The XML file is map config.xml, ctx.getBean. Okay, what is the reference variable you have given in map config.xml? CSM. Typecast it, store it in another variable. Now your object is like customer CS is equals to new customer. Using CS, you can call get ID methods and get product methods. Okay, see the output we will get is 20. Okay, the ID is 20. So the 20 we have injected using a P schema. Okay, and the name is, and the product says 10 is equals to Benz, 11 is equals to Tata, 12 is equals to Hyundai. Okay, see here guys, you can come back to IDE. You can come back to IDE. There is a everything is prepared. I will just okay. See here, this is your customer class. This is your map config. Okay, and this is your test class. Run as Java application. 20, 10 is equals to Benz, 11 is equals to Tata, 12 is equals to Hyundai. Guys, this is how you can inject list types, set types, and map types and primitive types using setter dependency injection. Using setter dependency injection. Okay, guys, any doubt in this? Guys, if no doubts, then I will go ahead. Injecting reference types using dependency injection. Guys, this is very, very, very important. This is very, very important in your Spring because list types, set types, map types, okay, will be used very rarely. But primitive types is the first one which I have discussed is also important. And then reference types. Reference types is also very, very important. I've told you, this is called original dependency injection actually telling. Okay, see here, this is called, okay, guys, has a relationship. What is meant by has a relationship? If your class contains an object reference of a other class, if a class contains an object reference of other class, then that is called a has a relationship. See guys, injecting reference types using dependency injection. Guys, one of the most used dependency injection types in the real-time application is the reference types or the object types. We use when the class has a relationship. Has a relationship is nothing but when a class has a reference of other class, then it is called has a relationship. Is a relationship in the sense when you create a child class for any other parent, okay, then that is called is a relationship. Means when a class has its child class, okay, when class has its child class, okay, then it's called is a relationship. Means if class has a child class called B, class extends, okay, class A extends B, then that is called is A. But class has, if class has a reference of another class, then this is called has a relationship. Guys, you can see here, public class A. In the A also depends on reference variable of B. Reference variable of B, and there will be a class B somewhere. Okay, in the class B also there will be a some logic. In class B also there will be some logic. Guys, what your container should do? Your container should create a object of B. Okay, that object will be object reference will be stored in some other address, right? That some other address will be some other address should inject into the B1 using either constructor dependency injection or setter dependency injection. That is nothing but injecting reference types using dependency injection. See guys, injecting object itself, not only reference. You are injecting object of B into the A. You are injecting object of B into the A. means you're completely acquiring all the properties of B into the A. That's why in the first class, in the Spring, there is no concept of inheritance or implementation. There is no concept of inheritance or implementation means interfaces. There is no use of interfaces. See, why do we use inheritance? To acquire the properties of one class into another class. Here, completely it is preparing an object of B and it is sending that object into the A itself. Okay, that is called injecting reference types using dependency injection. Okay, guys, in the above example, class A depends on B. That is, class A requires the reference variable of class B. In this case, container will first create an object of B and it will inject that reference into the class A using dependency injection. Okay, this process is called injecting reference types. For injecting reference types, guys, okay, we can make use of a ref element. We can use of a ref tag. Again, this ref tag, you can use it in a three ways. You can use a ref tag as an attribute. You can use a ref tag as a value. You can also inject this ref tag using P schema, as well as C schema also. Guys, but here, one poso class is not enough. You have to create two poso classes. You have to create two poso classes. Okay. Here, the first poso class is called dependent bean. Okay, you have to create two poso classes. One poso class is dependent poso class, one is dependency. Okay, see here, come back to the example. This is called dependent bean. Why? Because class A is depending upon object of B. That's why we call it as a dependent bean. And this is called dependency because this is the dependency on which your class A depends, right? That's why class B is called dependency and the class A is called dependent. Okay, so totally you have to create two poso classes here. Guys, see here, I have taken one poso class. First, I am preparing dependent bean. I am preparing dependent bean. Okay, the bean name is car. The bean name is car. I've taken two. Okay, one is a primitive type. One property is a primitive type. Private string car name. Private string car name, private engine. See here, guys, I have taken private engine. Okay, the reference variable is engine. Means the car class is also depends on engine class. Engine is a class name whose reference variable is engine. Okay, small engine. You can see capital letter engine is a class name. Small letter engine is a reference variable. Means your car class is a dependent class. Why? Because it is depending upon okay, it is depending upon two dependencies. One is a normal dependency that is called a primitive dependency, string car name. Another name is a reference. Means another name is a reference dependency. Car is depending upon the reference variable of engine class. Guys, select these two, generate setters and getters. Generate setters and getters. Guys, if you want, see at the runtime, if container wants to inject the object reference of engine, I should have engine class also, right? That engine class is called dependency bean. Okay, this engine class is dependency bean. Guys, create another class called engine. See here, public class. The name of the class is engine. Engine again depends on one primitive dependency. Engine again depends on one primitive dependency that is called simple private string model year. Okay, just it is depending upon only one dependency, private string model year. Generate, okay, select this one property, generate setters and getters. Now guys, what you should tell your container to do? You should tell your container to create a object of engine. See, engine again depends on model year, right? So you have to inject this property using either setter dependency injection. Setter dependency injection, there you can use value as an attribute, value as a separate element, or you can use a P schema. So using P schema, okay, inject this model year and you should tell your container to create an object of engine. And then during runtime, your container should also inject this object reference into the car class, here. Okay, into the car class. See, once after injecting that engine reference here, I've created my own method. Public void get information. Public void get information. System.out.println the car model year is engine.get model year. Guys, get model year is present in which class? Get model year is present in okay engine class. See, this is your get model year. Get model year is a non-static method present in the engine class. Means if you want to call this method, you want the object reference of engine, right? You want the object reference of engine. So that's why I'm telling my container to create an object of engine, and then using that engine reference, okay, it will inject that engine reference into the car class. Using that engine reference, you can get, okay, you can call this get model here. So totally, if I want to call this non-static method, my container should create a object of engine class during runtime, and it should inject into the car class. See guys, now where is this? Okay, system.out.println is present inside the method. What is the method name? Get information method. Get information method is present in which class? Car class. Means get information is a non-static method present in the car class. Means first if I call get information method, inside this I am calling get model here. Means if I want to execute this method, first if I want to call this method here, I want the object of car class. I want the object of car class. Using object of car class, if I call this get information method, inside this I am calling get model here. Get model here is present in a engine class, which is a non-static method. That's why, okay, I'm telling my container to create a object of engine and object of car, and it should inject that engine object into, okay, car class during runtime so that I can execute this method. Okay, see, I have prepared spring.xml file here. Very simple, guys. Okay, there is no complication here. First, before car class, see, car class depends on two properties. One is a primitive property, one is a reference types. So if I want to execute this whole class, first I need a engine class, right? I need an engine class. So first you should tell your container to create a object of engine. Okay, come back to the, okay, see here, open the bean tag. ID is E1. I want to create object with E1 reference. You can take E1, E2, E3. You can take your name also. Bean ID is equals to E1 class. You should provide the fully qualified class name of a engine. You should provide the fully qualified class name of the engine. See guys, what is the fully qualified class name of a engine? Okay, see, this is a fully qualified class name of a engine. com.reference.spring f1.spring ref1. Okay, engine. And engine depends on how many properties? Model year. Only one primitive property, model year. So I will inject using p schema. P hyphen. What is the property name? Model year. The value I will provide is 2023. Guys, now, okay. See, you're telling your container to create an object, and you're telling your container to inject this primitive. Next, come back here, dependent class. Now you should tell your container to create an object of car class, and you should inject these two properties. One is primitive property, one is a reference property. See here, bean, open same, bean ID. I will take C1 class, fully qualified class name. I will give how many properties depends. See guys, how many properties it is depending? Property name is equals to engine. See, property name is equals to engine, reference is equals to E1. Okay, let's go to the, okay. See, you can also give a car name. You can also, okay, provide a car name there in the, see, I've taken, okay, reference variable there because anyhow you know how to inject car name. Car name is just okay, primitive dependency here. If you want to inject, you can inject using a p schema. Okay, you can inject using p schema. Okay, here itself you can take p hyphen car name is equals to, okay, some Audi or Benz. You can give it. Okay, so I am concentrating only on engine because engine is a reference type. Guys, after closing a bean tag, open the property tag, give name is equals to engine. See, what is the property? Name is equals to engine. Okay, see, name is equals to engine is a property there. Ref is equals to E1. Means you're telling your container to create an object of engine class, and it should inject into the car class, right? So you should told you already told your container to create object like engine E1 is equals to new engine. You can see here engine E1 is equals to new engine. So object reference of E1 is stored in which variable? E1 variable. So that E1 variable you should inject into the car class. That's why I have taken a ref is equals to E1. See here, I have taken ref is equals to E1. Close the bean tag, close the beans tag. Guys, if you want to properly understand, get back to your IDE that is called Spring Ref1. In your IDE that is called Spring Ref1. See guys, this is your car class. Okay. This is your engine class. Okay, which I have and this is your XML file. See in the XML file, model year we have, okay, engine class is depends upon model year. So we have injected using P schema, and ID is equals to C1, class is equals to, okay, again, you told your container to create a car class. See here, I am injecting that reference type. The same engine E1, okay, see engine E1 is equals to new engine, that E1 you are injecting into the car class, where you are injecting property name. What is the property name? Property name is engine, and you are injecting using a ref, okay, using a ref tag. A ref is equals to, okay, ref bean is equals to E1, ref bean is equals to E1. Let's go to the test class. What you have designed, guys, you can see here, class path XML application context is equals to new class path application context. Now my original, see, I should call this method, right? I should call this method. If I want to call this method, I should go, okay, see, get information method is a non-static method present in the car class, okay, present in the car class. So I need an object of car class. I need an object of car class. Using that object reference, I can call this get information method. Inside this get information method, I am calling get model year. That get model year is present in engine class. That get model year is present in engine class. So that's why I've designed. See, I will prepare object of car class. See guys, class path application context is equals to new class path application context. I've loaded my value. Okay, I have loaded my XML file. The name of the XML file I have saved is refconfig1.xml, and then ctx, object reference of your container, ctx.getBean. I will take C1 because in the config.xml, see, I have taken C1 here. I need a car class object now. That's why, okay, I will take a C1. Guys, I will take C1, typecast it. Okay, store it in a C2 dot get information method. Okay, if I call if I want to call get information method is a non-static method present in the car class. Now your object is like car C2 is equals to new car C2 dot get information method. In the get information method, again it is calling engine dot get model year. In this engine, guys, your container has created an object of engine class. Engine E1 is equals to new engine. In that E1 object reference will be there, right? That object's memory address will be successfully injected into the variable called engine. Now in this engine, there will be a object reference of engine class. Using that object reference, I am calling get model year. Get model year is a non-static method. Okay, go to the test class. See here, run as Java application. Guys, the car model year is 2023. The car model year is 2023. See how I have called my, okay, a non-static method which is present in the engine class. In this process, what your container has done? Your container has created an object of engine. How we told your container to create? It should create an object like engine E1 is equals to new engine. You can see here in the reconfig. Engine E1 is equals to new engine. So object's address will be stored in E1, right? During that, during runtime, object's memory address which is stored in E1 should be transferred, means should be injected into the, okay, should be injected into the engine reference variable. It should be injected to the engine reference variable during runtime using setter dependency injection, using setter and getter dependency injection. This is called injecting reference types. Means when one class is depending upon another class, okay, how can we inject that? This is called injecting, okay, reference types. Guys, Spring configuration file here also you can prepare using, okay, three ways. Not only using one way, you can using, okay, you can prepare your Spring configuration using three ways. See how I have prepared here, a reference as an attribute. I've prepared here reference as a ref as an attribute. Okay, you can also prepare a reference as a separate value. I've told you, right, setter dependency injection. Preparing Spring configuration file using, okay, setter dependency injection, you can prepare in three ways. Value, okay, see, as an attribute, as a value, as a, okay, you can also perform using P schema. Okay, see here, the first one here is which I have done now. Okay, ref as a attribute, ref as a attribute. The same Spring configuration file I'm using here, I am considering, okay, engine as a separate property here. property name is equals to engine, ref bean is equals to E1. Okay, you have to use, okay, ref tag. Inside that, you have to use a bean. Okay, bean is equals to E1. This is the thing which I have executed now, actually. This is the thing which I have executed. This is called ref as an element. So you are using a ref as a separate element, not as an attribute. Attribute is nothing but you have to use beside name itself. If you separately open the separate reference tag and if you use it, then that is called ref as a separate, okay, element. The simple one is P schema. Guys, simple one, very simple one is a P schema. Using P schema, very simple. P, see guys, P property, okay, reference variable is engine hyphen reference is equals to E1. If you pass, okay, this much, it's enough. Okay, let's go back to our IDE. Let's go back to our IDE. Go to the Spring
I have a
configuration.
small doubt.
Yeah.
Can you go back to the slides?
Yes.
Uh, One slide up.
Yeah.
Yes. Over here, when we are using property name is equals to engine, this engine is our class name or the object name which we were using in our Pojo file.
You
What
should
does
consider,
this?
no. You should consider it as a type of a reference variable. You should consider it as a type of a reference variable. Originally, it is a class name only, but you should take it as a type of a reference variable. Because, see,
Okay, so
you're
if
injecting
in our
reference
Pojo
variable.
class, if in
Yeah.
our Pojo class we have defined it as engine E, then over here what will we write? Property name.
Sorry, in Pozo class?
Yeah, suppose in our car Pojo class we have defined private engine E.
Ah,
Then what will be there in our config file?
you should take class name only. You should take this type only. You can take E2, even reference variable, whatever you want, you can take it. Okay,
Okay,
but you
okay.
should take this engine class name only.
Okay, in the config file, that particular name which we are putting, that has to be the same as our class name, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
And but it's little different if we use the P schema, right?
Yes, yes. It differs in P schema.
Okay, makes sense.
That's why. Okay, that's why it's an easiest method. But here you should not take a class name. You should take a reference variable name hyphen reference. For example, in a car class, if you take E1, you okay, E, for example, if you take a E, P hyphen E, okay, P colon E hyphen reference is equals to E1 you should take. That's why, in order to avoid confusion, I have taken engine here. Because every time we create objects like engine E1 is equals to new engine A2 is equals to new engine. That's why reference variable I have taken engine with a small letter. Okay. See, when you're using value ref as a attribute, it's a different thing. If you use a ref as a, okay, using P schema, it's a different thing. Okay, guys, let's come to the IDE. I have deleted this whole thing. I will delete this whole thing. I don't want this. Okay, I will just delete this whole thing. Now here itself, let's come back to the PPT. I will do using P schema. I will do using P schema. Okay, copy this. Okay, put it in your IDE. One minute. And take out this property tag. Fine, everything is fine now. Okay, close it. Okay, save it. Guys, P hyphen engine. Okay, P colon engine hyphen reference is equals to E1. Using P schema, you are injecting the reference variable of one class into another class. Come to the test class. Okay, run as Java application. See, I'm getting the car model year is 2023. Means what your container is doing? Your container is creating an object of engine class first. And then, okay, we are doing dependency injection because your engine is also depending upon one of the primitive property called model year. And during runtime, the engine reference variable, engine memory address will be injected into the reference variable we have declared into the car class that is called small engine. Guys, this is called injecting reference variable using 3 types. Okay, using 3 ways. Guys, any doubts in this?
No doubt.
Guys, the next one, guys. Dependency checking using at required annotation. Guys, at required annotation, the name itself indicates required. necessary. Means, see, in my last examples, I have only 2 properties. You may have 10 properties. You may have, your class may depends on some 10 primitive properties or some 2 reference properties. See, you may have, you have to compulsory provide setters and getters for all the properties. But while injecting, while injecting, I need to provide, for example, dependency injection, I want to do only for the selected properties, not for all the properties. Okay, only for the selected setter dependency, selected setter methods, I have to inject the values. Other setter methods I don't want. If you want to do like that, okay, you can go for the at required annotation. Okay, see, dependency checking is used to make the required setter methods of the bean class to be executed, or which is used to make setter dependency injection mandatory. Guys, this is called annotation. This is one of the annotation. Okay, this is one of the annotation you have to use on the top of the setter method. On top of the setter method, which you want to compulsory, execute. If you don't want to execute, if you don't want to, inject value into the particular setter, you don't want to use it. Okay, but if you use any required annotation on this on that setter method, you have to compulsory inject the value. Well, we'll get an error because see then the simple what your at required annotation will do is at required annotation, okay, is required. You see here dependency checking. Okay, this is used for dependency checking. Is used to make the required setter methods of the bean class to be executed, or you can also say which is used to make setter dependency injection mandatory. Guys, in order to execute the required setter methods of the bean class, Spring uses annotation called at required annotation. I will show you. We have to use this annotation on the top of the setter method which we want to execute, and we have to inject the corresponding property of that setter method using dependency injection using XML configuration file. I will tell this. Guys, if you want to use at required annotation, you have to instantiate the class name called at required annotation bean post processor. Remember guys, if you want to use any annotation, sometimes you have to activate the processor. You have to activate or you have to instantiate the required class name. See, at required annotation is present in required annotation bean post processor. Required annotation bean post processor is a class name. If you want to use at required annotation, you have to instantiate this. You have to instantiate this means you should tell your container to create an object of this. Then only you can use at required annotation. Okay, just creation of object. No need to store your memory address. No need to store your memory address in some variable. Just instantiation I want. Just instantiation is nothing but new keyword class name parenthesis. That's all. I need instantiation. I don't want to store that instantiation address into some variable. Okay, see, if you want to tell your container, guys, if you want to tell your container to create object or instantiate, you need the fully qualified class name of at required annotation bean post processor, right? See, this is the fully qualified class name. org.springframework.beans.factory.annotation at required annotation bean post processor. I will tell you how to get this. Guys, come back here. Very, very simple. Simple, guys. There is an engine class. See here, again, there is an engine class. First, you should create a Java bean here also. Engine class. Engine class is again depending upon 2 primitive type dependencies here. Okay, model year, IDE. Okay, see here, guys. Engine model year, engine IDE. Generate setters and getters methods. Guys, after generating setters and getters methods, same. Create your own method, public void get information method. See system.out.println, whatever the model year you have injected using dependency injection, you just print it. Okay, you're just printing it to check whether dependency check dependency injection is happened or not every time. That's why every time I will create my own method. Or you can directly call get model year. You can also call get model year directly or get IDE directly. Okay, instead of that, you can also print system.out.println the car model year is plus model year. The car model year is plus IDE also. Guys, 2 properties are there. For 2 properties, select, go to the source, generates and setters and getters methods. Guys, you can see here among 2 properties for the model, for the model year, I have used at required annotation. I have used at required annotation means for this model year, you have to compulsory provide the value in the Spring configuration file. Okay, see, means you are making this setter dependency injection mandatory. You are making a setter methods of model year, property to execute mandatorily means you're making a particular setter, okay, injection mandatory here. Here I am not using at required annotation for, okay, set IDE means if you pass, if you don't pass, okay, there is no use, okay, there is no, okay, error at all. You can leave it or you can pass also. But whenever you use at required annotation, whenever we use at required annotation, for that compulsory you have to pass the value. Means what your at required annotation will do? At required annotation will do, okay, will use to perform a setter dependency injection mandatorily. You can see here. In order to execute the required setter methods of the bean class, means I need, okay, I need only set model here. I don't want IDE. So you can have, okay, 10, you can have 10 properties like that. Out of 10 properties, I need to provide a value for only, okay, 5 properties, or I want only 5 setter methods to be executed during runtime. So only for that 5 setter methods, if you use at required annotation, it's enough. Okay. So here we have to use a, okay, where we have to use this annotation on the top of the setter method which we want to execute, and we have to inject the corresponding property of the setter method using dependency injection in XML configuration file. That is what, okay, see here, I've used at required annotation for only one property, that is called only set model here. Here, come back to the Spring, okay, configuration file, guys. Same, you should tell your container to create a object of engine class first. Okay, IDE engine, the fully qualified class name is engine. You can see here P-model year is equals to 2023. P-model year is equals to 2023. Only for model year, okay, in the sense, only for the corresponding setter method of model year, I am providing a value. I am not providing a value for IDE. Okay, means only according to my, okay, project requirement, I want only set model year setter methods to be executed. I don't want this, okay, set IDE setter method. So I can use at required annotation here. Okay, guys, you can see here. Now I've prepared, right? I'm telling my container to create an object of engine class. So only one property I am injecting, P hyphen. What is the, okay, name of the property? Model year. What is the value I'm providing? 2023. And guys, if you want to use at required annotation, if you want to use at required annotation, you should instantiate the class called at required annotation bean post processor instantiation. Okay, you're telling your container to just instantiate. You're not, okay, storing it. See, instantiation is different. Creation of an object and storing it in reference variable is different. You can see ID is equals to even, class is equals to fully qualified class name. Means what? You're telling your container to create an object of engine class whose reference variable must be stored in even. But here in the next class, in the next bean tag, I am telling my container to create an object of, I'm telling my container to just instantiate. Okay, I don't want, okay, any memory address of, okay, required annotation bean post processor to be stored in another variable. Just open the bean, take a class, is it, okay, class, okay, attribute, copy and paste a fully qualified class name. From where do we get this fully qualified class name? In the sense, guys, if you want to get any fully qualified class name, I will tell you how to get it. Okay, guys, come back to the, okay, test class here. Same. Application context is equals to new application context. CTX get bean. This is the engine reference which I have declared in XML file. Typecast it, store it in E1, store it in E2. E2 dot get information. You will get the output called the car model year is 2023. Guys, you can come back here in the IDE. Okay, what is that class name? That class name is called, okay, Spring Depend. Spring Depend or Spring Check. Okay, there is a one class here, project name Spring Check. There is one package here. You can see there is an engine class which I have designed. Okay, which I have told you till now. There is a test class. Guys, let's execute this test class and see here. See, this is a configuration file I have designed. Okay, and then test class. See here, run as Java application. I'm getting the car model year is 2023. Means what? In the engine class, see guys, in the engine class, I have used at required annotation only for the set model year. Only for the model year property, I have used, okay, at required annotation. That's why in the configuration file also, for the only model year, I am passing the value. For ID, I am not, okay, passing. Means what? At required annotation is used to, okay, execute or inject only the required setter methods. Only the required setter methods. For that required setter methods, on the top of that required setter methods, you have to use the at required annotation. Okay, guys. See, when you're using at required annotation also, you have to import it. See here, if you just simply use at required annotation here, we will get an error. Place the cursor here on required annotation, Control Shift O, then only, okay, it will be imported. See here, org.springframework.beans.factory.annotation.at required. Then how do we get that fully qualified class name of a at required annotation bean post processor? Guys, just come back to the test class. Any class. See,
One
what
question,
is it?
sir.
Yes, yes.
If we do not write at the rate required anywhere, then mandatory we have to provide information about all the setters, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Guys, come back to the test class. I need a fully qualified class name now. What is the okay? What is the class you want to instantiate? The class you should instantiate required annotation bean post processor. Okay, see, you type required. Okay, you type required annotation bean post processor. Okay, for example, CP. I will try to create an object of this. If I try to create an object of this, then I will get the, okay, a fully qualified class name of this class. Okay, fully qualified package name of this class. Control C, Control V. You just try to create a class name, okay, object for this. See guys, now place a cursor, Control Shift O. There is some problem. Control Shift O. Required annotation. There is some spelling mistake. Annotation. Required annotation bean post processor is equals to new. See guys, you are getting the fully qualified class name, right? Just place the cursor on that. Control Shift O. org.springframework.beansfactory.annotation.at post processor. Copy this full name, copy this fully qualified class name, come back to the XML file. Okay, you paste it here. See, org.springframework.beans.factory.annotation.at annotation processor. This is how you should instantiate the, okay, at required annotation bean post processor if you want to make use of a at required annotation. Okay. Guys, this is called at required annotation. See, I have executed and we got output also. The car model year is 2023. Guys, the next one is inner beans in Spring. Okay, this we have already used. Okay, but still I tell you, the bean inside a bean is called inner beans. Very simple. The bean inside beans is called inner beans. You have to use a, okay, one extra tag here. The beans that are defined within the scope of another bean is called inner bean. Inner beans make use of a bean. Okay, so one extra bean tag here. Okay, same. Let's execute an example using this. Prepare one, okay, poso class, guys. My poso class is employee class, which depends on two, okay, which depends on two IDs, two primitive, okay, things. One is private int ID, address add. Okay, see, address add. There is a, see guys, there is a dependency class and there is a dependent class also here. You can see here, I am taking a reference type in this example. See here, int ID is a primitive type. Private address add. Address is a class name once again. Address is a class name once again. So generate setters and getters methods. Okay. And then get information method. Generate get in. Okay. Take your own method like get information method like I every time I was taking, right? Inside this system.out.println, the house number is add.get house number. This get house number, get city, get state are a non-static methods present in the address class. Present in the address class. Come back to the dependency bean. Guys, this is dependent bean. Why? Because employee is depending upon address, okay, reference. That's why we call it as a dependent bean. Dependency bean. Okay, this is called dependency bean. Guys, create a class called address. This address class again depending upon three primitive types. Private hint house number, private string city, private string state, generate setters and getter methods. See here, get house number, get city, okay, and get state. All these are non-static methods from where I am calling I am calling those non-static methods from this class, employee class. Means what my container should do? My container should create an object of address class. Okay, and it should perform dependency injection for these three properties. And during runtime, it should inject the object of memory address of address class into the variable called add. Last time I have taken engine, right? So for change, I am taking address add into this add. It will inject. So using add, you can call add get house number, add got get city, add got get state. But here, guys, get information method is a non-static method present in the employee class. Means I need an object of employee class also. Means you should tell your container to create object of employee class as well. Come back here. Guys, see here, I'm using inner beans. Bean inside a bean. Guys, you can see here, bean. You can see here, bean. ID is equals to, first you should tell your class, you should tell your container to create an object of, employee. Here, reverse I am taking. ID is equals to EMP. Okay, see here, ID is equals to EMP. Fully qualified class name of employee. Employee class depends on two fields. One is a primitive and one is a reference. Primitive I will inject using a P type. Okay, P schema. P hyphen ID is equals to 56. And then property name is equals to add. Okay, property name is equals to add. Guys, for this property, open the separate bean. Open the separate bean. For this property, open the separate bean here. See here, I am not, property name is equals to add. I am not providing value here itself. Okay, I am not providing value here itself. In the last section, what I have taken? First, I was telling my container to create an object of dependency bean. And while creating an object of, dependency bean using a ref tag, I was injecting, right? But now I am telling my container to create an object of dependent bean. And in the dependent bean, for the property called add, I am using inner bean here. There is no ref tag at all. Using inner bean. You can see here, using inner bean, class is equals to, address. It is again depending upon, three properties. P hyphen, P hyphen number is equals to 105. P hyphen city is equals to Bangalore. P hyphen state is equals to Karnataka. Property tag closed, bean tag closed, bean stack closed. Okay, come back here. See, same. Instantiate your container, ctx.getBean employee. I'm calling, I'm storing it in employee one, emp.getInformation. Okay, what is the class name here? The class name, the package name is here, Spring Inner Bean. Okay, let's come back to something called Spring Inner Bean. Okay. See, this is your address class, this is your employee class, and this is your, configuration. This is your configuration, Spring configuration file. Okay, this is called test.java. Okay, guys, just execute, run as Java application. See, the house number is 105. The city is Bangalore. The state name is Karnataka. Guys, you can come back to the configuration file. I am not using a ref tag at all. Okay, means what? If I use a inner beans, object's address which is stored in a add, the object address which will be stored in a add will be injected into the employee class automatically if I use a Spring Inner Bean. Okay, just instantiation I have given. I did not take even reference variable also. Guys, this is called inner beans. The bean inside a bean. You can also use like this. There are so many ways to create your Spring configuration file.
So, sir, this is basically another alternative way for reference injection, right?
Yes. We call it as an inner bean. This is one way of injecting a reference variable into a POSO class. Guys, constructor dependency injection. Guys, till now we have seen all setter dependency injection. This is nothing but constructor dependency injection. See, when we were using constructor dependency injection, when we were using setter dependency injection, we have used a setter and getter methods, right? Here we have to use a parameterized constructors. We have to use a parameterized constructors. Spring will perform dependency injection using parameterized constructor. Here we will use constructor-arg. Guys, in setter dependency injection, we were using property tag, right? We were using property tag. But here we will use constructor-arg tag. Okay. XML element and value tag. See, property value. I was using two tags in setter dependency injection. First one is a property tag. Okay, name is equals to property name, value is equals to input I was passing. Here you have to take constructor-arg. Inside that you have to take only value tag. Using constructor dependency injection, we can inject same primitive types, collection types, and reference type dependencies. Constructor dependency injection can inject the values through element attribute, and it also uses C schemas. Guys, it also uses C schema. We have used P schema, right? Here we can use a C schema. Guys, same steps, but instead of setter and getter methods, we will use constructors. Guys, see, when there is a one class here, okay, you can generate setters and getter methods, right? Similarly, when there is a one class, you can also select, you can also inject uh, constructors. See, I have a setters and getters methods here. You can also select these three properties. How we will generate setters and getters? We will generate setters and getters, by selecting, like this, go to the source, generate some setters and getters. Similarly, you can also select these three properties, go to the source. Okay, see guys, generate constructor using fields. Okay, click on this. Okay, for all the properties you want, right? So just generate it. See guys, one parameterized constructor is generated here. You can see here. Okay, public, you can see here, public address. See how your constructor, the name of the constructor will be class name, right? Hint house number, string city, okay, string state, and there will be a super keyword, super keyword placed inside a constructor. Okay, we don't want this actually. Okay, by default it will place it. This dot house number is equal to house number, this dot city is equals to city, this dot state is equals to state. Means whatever from Spring configuration file, whatever we inject, it will receive it. Means parameterized constructor will receive it and it will store it. This dot house number in the sense H number means it is blue color, which we have declared, and it will assign the new value. The new value we have injected. The value we have injected will be assigned to the variable which we have declared here. See, this dot house number is equals to house number. This dot city is equals to city. This dot state is equals to state. Generally, this keyword refers to current objects execution. Means it will take the current variables. This dot house number means this one is equals to house number. This house number which we have passed through Spring configuration file. This is how we generate your setters and getter methods. I'm sorry, constructor, parameterized constructor. Okay, it is very same like your setters and getters, but you are using parameterized constructor. Guys, I have an employee class, int IDE, string name, generated constructor. Okay, and in order to know dependency injection is happened or not, public void get information. Okay, the employee ID is plus ID, the employee name is plus name. Come back to the Spring configuration file. Guys, everything is same. There is no need to change anything here. In the default schemas also, place everything till XSD. Now, as usual, tell your container to create an object of employee. Bean, ID is equals to EMP, class is equals to fully qualified class name. And then you have to use, guys, if it is setter dependency injection, you should open the property tag. Property name is equals to name, value is equals to, you should provide input, right? But here you have to use a tag called constructor-arg. Okay, you should use constructor-arg. Value is equals to 656. Okay, 656 means you are providing a value for the first field, IDE 656. Constructor-arg value is equals to John. Value is equals to John. You are providing a value for the second field called name. Second field called name. See, you have open tag, you're closing at the end itself. Close the bean tag, close the beans tag. Okay, guys, here you can do constructor injection using three ways. Same, value as an attribute, value as an element, value as a C schema. Okay, let's execute this. Okay, first example first. It is stored in Spring constructor. In the IDE, it is stored in Spring constructor. Come back to the Spring constructor. There is a see, which I have prepared, employee Okay, see guys, there is an employee class. This is a Spring configuration file. This is called test. Okay, see, a test class same. Everything is same. There is no need to change. Instantiate your class path XML application context. Load the XML file. Okay, using getBean method. Get the employee object reference. Typecast it. Store it in even dot get information. Okay, run as Java application. See, the employee ID is 56. The employee name is John. Okay, guys, here you can inject using C schema also. Okay, see here, you can inject using C schema also. You can inject, okay, see, Spring configuration file, your constructor dependency injection can be prepared using 3 ways. This is called value as an element. Okay, value as an element. Second one, value as an attribute. Value as a attribute. Open constructor -arg, separate value tag you have to take. Open the value tag, provide the value, close the value tag. Again, take constructor -arg. Okay, close the constructor -arg, open the constructor -arg, take a value tag, provide the value, close the value tag, and constructor -arg, close the beans tag. Guys, how we were using value as an attribute, value as an element in the setter dependency injection. In the same way, you can also do like this. What you can do is you can copy this. Okay, you can copy this. Go to the IDE. Go to the Spring configuration file for your constructor dependency injection. Delete this whole thing. Okay, paste it. Okay, and then you can execute. Run as Java application. Guys, we are not using all these things. We will use P schema and C schema only, but still I am showing how many ways we have. Okay, guys, this is the way of, another way of constructing Spring configuration file in your constructor dependency injection. The last one and important one is called C schema. Guys, here you have to do one change. You have to do one change. See here, in the XML configuration file, there will be a default schema, XML NSP. See, if it is default schema only for P, it will do only a P schema. P schema using setter dependency injection. But if you want, C schema, guys, if you want C schema, you have to do some modifications in the XML file. Come back to the XML file. Guys, copy this line. Okay, copy this line here. You can see here, copy this line. Copy just in the next line itself. Press enter, paste it, make it as a C. Okay, because I want schema for C schema. I want C schema for C schema. Just copy that first line, paste it in the next line, change from P to C in both the places. Okay, change from P to C, then you can perform C schema. Okay, guys, I will just delete this. Okay, I will just delete this. I will go to my PPT. Say C schema. C hyphen, what is the first field? IDE, provide a value. C hyphen name, provide a value. If it is setter dependency injection, P hyphen field name value. P hyphen field name value. But since it is a constructor dependency injection using C schema, you have to use C hyphen. Okay. See, I will make use of a C hyphen here. Control C, go to the IDE, and here, here itself, paste it. Okay. Guys, see here, C hyphen ID is equals to 656. C hyphen name is equals to John. Just save it and go to the test class. Okay, and then run as Java application. See, the employee ID is 656. The employee name is John. This is how you can also do constructor dependency injection using 3 ways: value as an attribute, value as an element, or using C schema also. Guys, there is a one problem in constructor dependency injection, that is called ambiguity problem. We will get something called ambiguity problem. When you have two fields, guys, you can see here in the XML file, I am not taking any, I am not taking here, you can see in the first example, I am not taking any value tag here. I am not taking any name tag here. In the setter dependency injection property, I was used to take property name also using name attribute, isn't it? But here I am directly providing a value. When you have two fields with the same type, when you have a two fields with the same type, container will get an ambiguity problem here. You can see here, same employee will be there. There are three fields: int ID, private string name, int ID1. See guys, there are two fields of type int. There are two fields of type int, same type. There are two fields of the same type here. Okay. See guys, int ID1, string name. I have generated a, here a parameterized constructor. Same, your own method is there. But here there are two fields with the same name. Guys, if you want to avoid ambiguity problem here, you can also take in the Spring configuration file, you can also mention the type name here using type attribute. Okay, you can also specify the type of the field using type attribute. Okay, still if you want more confirmation, you can also use index attribute as well. You can also use index attribute. See guys, constructor -arg value is equals to 656, type is equals to int. Type is equals to int. See, first type is int right here in the, see, type is equals to int. Second, value is equals to John, type is equals to string. Second one is a string there. Value is equals to 756, type is equals to int. Guys, you can see here, what is the order I have taken? Int ID1, int string I have taken, but I have provided here int string and int. In this case, your constructor will get an ambiguity problem because either 656 should be, constructor, are not sure about whether 656 should be assigned to either ID or ID1. Okay, it will get a confusion. In order to avoid that confusion, we will take a index attribute. Okay, guys, whichever the order you take here, int ID1 string name, or you can take int ID string name int ID1, or you can take string name int ID1 int ID. You can also take, however the order, whichever the order you want to take, you can take it. If you provide here index value, it's enough. Guys, see here, constructor -arg value is equals to 656. This 656 should be assigned to the variable which is present in index 0. Means 656 will go and store in the index 0. Means it will go and store in the IDE, in the ID field. Similarly, value is equals to John, index 2. Okay, index 2. Okay, see here, index 2 in the sense here, string, right? This is index 0, index 1, and index 2. In the sense, the value which I am providing should go and store in the index 2. And the same, 756 is the thing which should go and store in the index 1. What is the variable which is stored in index 1? ID 1. So whatever the order you take here, whatever the order you take here, in order to avoid the confusion or ambiguity problem for your container, you can take a indexes here. Okay, it's better to take a index. If you want, you can take type and index both. Okay, see, if I take normal also, if I take normal also, I will get ambiguity problem. If I get only type also, it may get ambiguity problem because in the parameters there, you may have, some 5 parameters with the same type. We know constructor will get ambiguity problem for which type it should assign a value. So it is better to take index, or you can also take a index as well as a type both. Okay, it will work. Okay, in order to avoid, guys, this is the one problem in constructor dependency injection, and you should take, in order to avoid that ambiguity problem, you can make use of a index and value attribute. Okay, see guys, this is the Spring constructor will be there. Let's go get back to the IDE. Spring constructor is there. Here what I will do is, I don't have a program. Guys, you can practice it. I don't have this Spring constructor program which I've designed. I have to write this program once again. Guys, everything is same. Just, you should take one, you should take your ID field, you should take your type and index field, and you can check it. Guys, this is your constructor dependency injection. Any doubt here?
So to
Guys,
avoid the confusion, we can always use the C schema, right? In that there will be no ambiguity.
yes, you can use the C schema.
Yeah.
Guys, if there are no doubts, then I will end my session here. Guys, I have shared those default schemas which I will use in XML file, and default dependencies which I use in a pom.xml file. You can collect with them, okay, with your respective heads. I have shared all these full PPT also. You can practice it. Guys, if there are no doubts, I'll end my session here. Thank you.
Sir, do you have any group for this? I mean, like I'm not getting any PPTs or any kind of recordings.
Actually, there is a group. I don't have access for that group. I am myself is not okay added into that group. They did not add me.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I will also send these PPTs and everything to your respective heads. Okay, his name is Murli. You can contact him. They will send you.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
If I have direct
Fine.
access, I would have sent everything by now.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.